I, fighter Busisiwe Mkhwebane, solemnly declare that I will abide by the aims, objectives, and radical policies of economic freedom fighters as set out in the Constitution of the EFF. I voluntarily join the EFF without any motive of personal gain or material benefit, and understand that I am not entitled to any position or deployment.
Hello there, guys, and welcome to Daily Updates. Perhaps one of the biggest lessons to the economic freedom fighters and their leaders is to never ever give first preference to a person who comes late to the party. Regardless of the status or where you want to be, your ambitions, you must never ever give first preference to a person who comes late to the party. We have seen what happened with Mzwanele Manyi. Floyd left and some other leaders left. And unfortunately now, Busisiwe Mkhwebane has just confirmed that she's leaving the economic freedom fighters. It was expected. When Floyd left, there were rumors that Mkhwebane would be following. To my surprise, she hopped on Twitter just to say that I am not leaving the EFF, I am continuing with the work of the EFF, so the rumors of me leaving are not true. And when you look back to what she said, it seems like she said those things just to block the exodus, because had she also announced a resignation, probably a lot of people would have lost confidence in the EFF. But again, before you look at the issue of Mkhwebane, you really need to go back to 2023 when EFF was preparing for the elections. What the EFF did, which was completely wrong, was to get people who joined the EFF and immediately took them to parliament. Their reasoning was that we need people with skills so that they can boost the EFF. Now, it is shocking to see that the same people that the EFF believed in are the first one to go. There is no loyalty from those people. They were not even politicians, some of them. You get them into the EFF just to go and say that we are boosting that system of the EFF, we are boosting that power. But in the end, that boost that you try to put in the EFF is now betraying you. If you go back to when Busisiwe Mkhwebane was fighting to remain the public protector, the one party that was on his side was the economic freedom fighters. They were on his side, pushing, making sure that she wins. And unfortunately, she did not win. But you look at it, you could say that the EFF was on his side, not just for the benefit of Busisiwe Mkhwebane. It was also for the benefit of the EFF to say that we are fighting the system. They lost. When they lost, they decided to get Busisiwe Mkhwebane into parliament, joining the EFF. Just less than 1 year, Busisiwe Mkhwebane is leaving the economic freedom fighters. She says that she would have hoped to work for an institution like the UN. But again, Busisiwe, why would you leave the EFF when they gave you such preference, when they gave you the seat in parliament? They overlooked some members who should have gotten the seat, and they gave you that seat. Regardless of the reasoning behind the resignation of Busisiwe Mkhwebane, I just feel like it looks like a betrayal. The EFF is not an old party. When Floyd left, you could see that now there is a problem. There is a problem because one of the leaders, one of the pillars has left the party. And to see people that were put in positions leaving the party is such a sad moment. This is in no way an attack on Busisiwe Mkhwebane, but really, no one would have expected her, of all people, who got the support she got, to leave. But then again, if we were to take the whole blame, we would put it on the economic freedom fighters' leaders. These guys looked at the bigger picture of winning the elections and overlooked the structure. By getting these leaders, who some of them were questionable, putting them in parliament, putting them in the structures of the EFF, and giving them that platform to come and get a lot of support for the EFF, they really neglected those who gave them the support from the birth, from when they were struggling. By doing that, they just lowered the confidence in some of the fighters. Now we have a problem of the MK snatching some of the leaders who are leaving the EFF. The question is that, is Busisiwe Mkhwebane going to follow in the footsteps of Floyd Shivambu, Zanele Manyi, or is she going to other organizations? If Mkhwebane wants to remain in politics, I assure you, we are going to be surprised. She might just announce that she's going to the MK party, which is something that if she goes there, it will be totally unacceptable. It will be like the most betrayal that the EFF probably is going to learn a big lesson from that. Because at the end of the day, as a political party, you want growth. You want to continue growing, but by overlooking your leaders that you should be grooming and giving first preferences to people that you know that they were public protectors, they were not politicians, and they would not add value to politics because they don't know politics at all. By giving them first preference and overlooking others, you are killing your reputation. The EFF has a lot of work to do. They have a big job to do when going to the elective conference. The only person that is remaining in the EFF who I believe that if he leaves, it is over for the EFF, that is Busisiwe Mkhwebane. You look at it and think that it's just one person. When a leader leaves, the confidence of that party goes down also. So the EFF would probably need to come together and look at the people that started working with the EFF, even when it was not big, even when it was not famous. Put them around. If they are not good enough, find a way to motivate them, find a way to educate them so that these are the people who are going to run with the party. 2026 elections are just around the corner. What are you going to do, the EFF? How are you going to work around it? Because now the people that you believed in have just left. But to Busisiwe Mkhwebane, to be honest, to be fair to Busisiwe, she tried to be in politics. She lost a case recently of 10 million payout. Now, what's left for her is to try and look at her life, do some introspection and see if maybe she can go and work 9 to 5 because politics are not for her. The unfortunate part is that the decision of Mkhwebane will be labeled as a betrayal because no way in this world will I give you the first preference and you turn around and say that, bye-bye, I'm seeing that there is no life here, I am leaving. If she goes to MK party, she has a right to do whatever she wants. If she goes to MK party, that would be the most betrayal any person could ever do to a party that gave her a chance to spread her wings. Perhaps there were no wings. Perhaps they were giving her a role she's not good at. Perhaps they were trying to just save the reputation of Mkhwebane by giving her the seat so that she doesn't die without having that pride of saying that I fought for my life. Unfortunately, Busisiwe is leaving. The EFF will need to go back to the drawing board and see if they can do something about it. If they don't do anything, we might see the death of the EFF. It takes years and years for you to decline and finally you die. COPE is an example of what happens if leaders are not really careful about how they do their business. People start leaving, leaders start fighting, and in the end, you dissolve that party because there's nothing to fight for. Freedom in our lifetime, as the EFF said, might be a dream that they came up with and they can never realize it, if only they are not careful. Anyway, guys, thank you for tuning into the channel, and until next time. Cheers.